All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the final part of the show, we are going to now get into previewing the remaining late slate of games for Week 18 in the NFL. So, got all the West teams playing, as well as the Jets and the Dolphins. That'll be played at 4:25 on Fox, or Eastern time on Fox. So when it comes to the NFC West, so the Rams have clinched that division. They needed some teams to win based on strength of schedule, and they got that. So they are NFC West champs, and I thought they were going to be one of the wild card teams. I had them as a wild card team going into the year because I thought the 49ers would be the division champs, and the 49ers are going to finish with possibly 6 wins, depending on what happens in this game on Sunday against the Cardinals, because there will be no Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy got injured late in the game against the Lions, so he's not going to play. I think Josh Dobbs will be getting the start. So he'll be starting against his former team. But, the Rams are probably going to rest their starters. So I would lean towards Seattle getting the win there. And finishing with 10 wins. And then when it comes to the Cardinals and the 49ers, that game is tough to pick with now Brock Purdy being out. Now, there's going to be no James Conner for the Cardinals after he put together a solid year. But Cardinals, I mean, this is something that we've seen before with them. You know, they were in a good position. They won 4 in a row. And then they came out of the bye week. And they are 1-5 in their last 6 games. Their only win came against the Patriots at home. And yeah, it's just a disappointing end to their season. And look, I think Kyler Murray's solid, but I do think there is some limitations to what you could do with him as your franchise quarterback. I don't think right now, I would say, if you were to ask me, do you think Kyler Murray will win a Super Bowl, I would tell you no. Now, that doesn't mean, me saying that are the Cardinals just going to completely, move off of him. I don't know. But we've seen this before with Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, where they get off to these good starts and they're in a good position to do something, and then they just fall flat. The last time they made the postseason, Kyler did not play well in that game. So you got to wonder, maybe the Cardinals are having some internal discussions on, what we should do with, what they should do with Kyler. Right now I'd probably lean towards saying he's still going to be the starting quarterback next year, but you got to wonder. Now this is another year where this team has fallen flat with him at the helm, and I don't know, but. Looking at this game, though, I think the Cardinals should win against the Niners with now Josh Dobbs starting. The 49ers have been a disappointment. They're at home. I think they should get the win, but, it wouldn't surprise me if the 49ers were able to pull off the upset. So, that one's kind of a toss-up for me. I'll say the Cardinals win, but don't feel great about it. Then we got the Rams and the Seahawks, like I said. Oh, actually, no, I went over that already. I said the Seahawks would win if they got the Rams backups playing. Jimmy Garoppolo going to be getting the start for the Rams there. So we'll see how that goes. Chargers and Raiders. Raiders are 4.5-point underdogs. That line's actually gone down. So I don't know what the Chargers plan on doing. They're pretty much, well, I guess it all depends on what happens with the Steelers game. If the Steelers win, then the Chargers are pretty much locked into the 6th seed. But if the Steelers lose, then the Chargers have the opportunity, if they win on Sunday, then they'll be the 5. And based off of what I said in the second segment, the Chargers will be playing for the 5 seed because the Steelers beat them already this year. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. But right now, I would lean towards the Chargers getting the win there. Disappointing season for the Raiders. Bright spot for them, Brock Bowers, of course. But yeah, disappointing year for them. I don't know what they're gonna do in the draft. I mean, do they maybe try to trade up, get a quarterback, or maybe they try to trade for Kirk Cousins? Who knows? I mean, the team is just not very good. They need a lot of help. They need, you know, they need help on offense. They need help on defense. I mean, they lost Devontae Adams. They let go of Josh Jacobs. They need to get more offensive firepower, and that starts with the quarterback position. And who knows what they're going to do with Antonio Pierce? Now, this team at the beginning of the year was 2-2. They beat the Ravens on the road, and you thought, okay, they're going to be like they were last year, a competitive team, hang around in some games. And they have done that at times, but it's just, it's been a tough year for them. They've won 2 straight, though. They beat Jacksonville, they beat the Saints. So, at least they're, maybe, if they pull off an upset against the Chargers, they end on a high note. But no, I think Raiders fans, they want them to lose and get the higher draft pick. But yeah, so I like the Chargers to win. I think they're going to be playing their starters pretty much the whole game. So I like them to win and cover. And then finally, we have the Jets and the Dolphins. Now, it doesn't look like at the moment that Tua is going to play. We're going to see Tyler Huntley again. And look, they got the win against a bad football team in the Browns. And the Jets are a bad football team as well. So they could probably still get the win here. But it is possible that this could be Aaron Rodgers' last game. And he might retire. And it's something that will be a topic of conversation throughout the whole offseason. And recently, he talked about how these last 2 years in New York have been the best years of some of the best years of his life. Even though there's been a lot of stuff that's gone on. Last year with the injury, and then this just being a disaster of a year for the Jets. And not all of it is his fault. Now, is he part of the problem? Yeah, I mean, I've said that constantly. I don't think he's the main problem with the Jets season. I think they had some bigger issues, and that starts from up top down. What we've heard come out in certain reports with Woody Johnson, it's very troubling to hear, especially when you're kind of evaluating players based off of a Madden rating. And look, going into the year, I didn't think they were going to be. Well, I knew that coaching could be an issue. I knew coaching could be something that holds them back. And that's definitely been the case. They shouldn't have fired Robert Saleh, even though when it happened, he hasn't been good. But just promoting Jeff Ulbrich, that was not the move. Because he has been in way over his head. And yeah, no, it's been a very tough year for them. Another team that it's been tough. I had this team winning the division, making the playoffs. Now, I didn't have them going all the way to the Super Bowl like some people did. So yeah, I know I got some weird looks in our production meeting when I picked them to win the AFC East, but it was based off of their talent and banking on Aaron Rodgers to come back, play at at an average level, the defense to play well. I just thought that the talent was going to block out some of the weaknesses that they had with the coaching staff. But that didn't happen. That did not happen. Rodgers got banged up this year. Started to play better towards the end here. Obviously, though, against Buffalo, that game was a disaster from start to finish. The Jets actually did move the ball, but they'd go for it on 4th down and just get stuffed, or just wouldn't get it. Rodgers had a couple of interceptions. I don't think. I mean, they got tipped up in the air. Well, one of them did, or actually, no, I think both of them were just tip passes. But either way, he threw 2 picks, and yeah, it's been a forgettable year for the Jets. But if this is the last game for him, I would like to see him go out with a win. I actually will pick the Jets if Tyler Huntley does start. But the Dolphins win this. The Dolphins need this game. If they win and the Broncos lose, then they're in. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. If Tua plays, I think the Dolphins win. If Tua doesn't play, I'm going to say the Jets actually get the win, and Aaron Rodgers goes out, if this is it, with the victory. Now, you're probably saying you're crazy. Well, I mean, I'm picking Aaron Rodgers to beat Tyler Huntley. I mean, I think he should win. They're going to pull out all the stops. Still has to get his 500th touchdown pass. Didn't get it last week. And I mean, if he doesn't get it, you're really going to walk away at $4.99? I don't know. I think Rodgers will get it in this game. Either way, either with Tua playing or not, he'll get his 500th touchdown pass. Just hope it's not in garbage time. I'm hoping that if he goes out, he goes out with a win. That's what I'm hoping. But, again, I think that all depends on if Tua plays or not. And then I didn't talk about this game yet. So the Broncos and the Chiefs. So the Chiefs are resting their starters. The Broncos are actually 10.5-point favorites. There's snow supposedly in the forecast. I do lean towards the Broncos winning this game. I feel like the Chiefs could cover the 10.5. Carson Wentz is starting, and if you remember, he got that win last year when he played for the Rams. They got the win against the 49ers. So I'm going to lean towards the Broncos getting the win, but maybe the Chiefs cover, because that is a big number. So yeah, how it'll end up. So the Bengals are going to miss out. Broncos, I think, make it. I do think with the Bengals winning, I have the Bengals winning. Then the Steelers would drop down to the 6. Chargers would get the 5. I think the Lions win, so they'll get the 1. The Vikings will get the 5 in the NFC. I think the Bucs will win, so they'll win the NFC South. So how the playoffs will look based off of what I'm saying is you'll have the Lions as the 1 in the NFC, Eagles as the 2. Then as the 3, you'll have the Rams. 4, you'll have the Bucs. 5, the Vikings. 6, you'll have the Commanders. 7, you'll have the Packers. And then on the AFC side of things, the Chiefs will be the 1, the Bills will be the 2, Ravens 3, Texans 4, the Chargers 5, the Steelers 6, and then the Broncos as the 7th seed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, though, about the games upcoming for this weekend. How do you see some of these games playing out? You think the Falcons somehow find a way to get into the playoffs and win the division? Do you think the Bucs end up getting upset? I don't think so. How do you see the AFC wild card playing out? Do you think that the Bengals somehow find a way? Do you think that the Jets win and the Chiefs win with their backups to spoil the Broncos season? Let me know in the comments. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the show for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to check out all the other shows as well. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the video. And I hope everybody has a good weekend. So as always, I'm your host, Kenneth Grunfelder, signing off from the GSMC Football Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Have a good day. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the games. And I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Take care.